Thank you for having me. My friend Carolyn White-Scarver introduced me to LifeWave with her testimony. She had tried stem cell injections. They didn't work for her. And in 3 days, she got results from the X39 patch. That really got my attention. So she helped me learn more about it. Within a month, I decided this is something that I wanted to try. And I was at risk for dementia. Both my grandparents have dementia. I was experiencing eye strain and worsening eyes every few years. My prescription would be changed and bumped up, and I've spent a fortune, putting new lenses in all my glasses. And I also got a diagnosis a couple months before she told me about X39 of a cataract forming in my left eye. Now, my mother had had eye surgery, and she was terrified of it. She did it way too late to really enjoy the benefits because of her fear. Well, I'm the same way. I don't want anybody cutting on my eyes. So these were some of my underlying conditions. I also had thinning skin, and I noticed both my mom and my Nana had very, tissue paper thin skin, which very easily bruised and broke, very easily got cuts. Also, I was at risk for knee surgery. When I was in my 40s, I got diagnosed with chondromalacia patella, or runner's knee. Now, my husband and I had done a lot to mitigate that knee pain that I was experiencing at that time. We dieted, we exercised, we radically changed our lifestyle to do everything we could to promote better joint health. And we came a long way. I basically had resolved most of my knee pain. But on a day where I was using the stairs a lot or exercising a lot, I would actually get flare-ups. So I've always been looking for things to take my health to the next level. I would say we were both radiantly healthy coming into this. We got involved 1.5 years ago in using the patches. And we considered ourselves supremely healthy, but we're health conscious, and we're always looking to take things further and better. And we are concerned about longevity. We both have had success in business, and we wanted to live a long time to enjoy the fruits of our labor. So LifeWave came around for me at just the right time.
Wow, Kimberly, that was such a good review. You did perfect in telling us the conditions that existed as you came and you were introduced into LifeWave. Now, there are results, and you were excited to see the results, and you made a list of that and told us how that has really affected your life. So go ahead. I'd like to welcome you to that part. Tell us about your results that you received.
Sure. I want to tell the people who especially think they don't need this because they're so healthy that yes, you can get benefits from stem cell activation. At my age, which is over 65, I've lost 80 to 90% of my stem cells. So by implementing the stem cell activation patch, I immediately, within the first few weeks, got more energy, deeper sleep at night. I mean, I was having extremely vivid, colorful dreams, dreams that I remembered when I woke up. And I believe that's because I was getting into that deep restorative sleep, that REM sleep that they always talk about. Well, I hadn't had dreams like that for years. And also sleeping through the night more, not having to get up so many times in the middle of the night. So those are the things I noticed right away. I would also say I had an uplifted mood. Of course, when you embark upon a new lifestyle change, you are excited, you are happy, you do have a hope for a better future. So it could have been psychological, but now that I've been on the patches a while, I do think that there's a number of the LifeWave patches that uplift mood. So I would say that that's definitely a benefit I got from the patch. My skin does feel plumper. One of the vanity reasons I started using LifeWave is Carolyn shared with me that the X39 activation patch, in addition to turning on stem cells, also turns on the collagen production. And I knew that collagen was an important protein for my skin to keep it plump and firm and healthy, to keep it from thinning like I saw with my ancestors or my predecessors. And so that was a big reason. And I do feel that my skin has gotten plumper and a little bit more sturdy over these months. I don't have any way of measuring that. It's just a feeling that when I touch my skin, it feels stronger. I did have a chelated scar. When I scar with surgeries and whatnot, my scars bubble and they become, a big bump or wider than normal scars. And X39 also does scar remodeling. I had been injured by a dermatologist who used a dry ice gun on my décolleté, and she was a little too aggressive with it, and I got a bad chelated bump, like a little, chelated scar. Anyway, the wart she was trying to remove was gone, but I was left with an unsightly scar. Today, all I have is just a white patch. The scar tissue has totally gone away, and all I have is a little bit of a white patch on my skin, which is a lot better looking than what I started with. So I'm very happy about that. When my knee pain flares up, I use our Eon patch, which is the anti-inflammation patch, and my pain goes away within minutes. So that's a real asset. If I have knee pain at the end of a busy, long day, I wear the Eon patch overnight. So I use that patch just as needed to tamp down inflammation in my knees. My concern about dementia has been greatly alleviated because I do feel I have a better short-term memory. I used to always think, did I do that or just think about doing it? Did I make that phone call? Did I, contact that person? Now I know what I've done. I don't question my sanity. I know that I've done what I've thought about doing. So that's really good. Now about the eyesight, 6 months in, I've been on the patches a year and a half. 6 months in, I got my eyes tested again. No change. I still had the pending cataract. I still had the same prescription. But last week, or earlier this week, I went to the eye doctor and I got a fabulous report. She said I had marked improvement in my vision. My prescription had been 275, it's now 250. And she said she sees no sign of cataract forming. So in addition to the X39, for the last year, I implemented the Carnosine patch, which is a tissue building patch for organs. And I wear it right on my right temple 3 nights a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I believe that the two X39 and Carnosine patch together have been the magic bullet for improving my eyesight. So that's the first test result that I've gotten from a doctor showing the merits of using these patches, and I couldn't be happier.
The eyesight is very important to most people, and you've given us some good indications of how that helped. But I also think that the brain and the dementia, that's a very sad thing when that happens to people and they no longer remember their loved ones and who cared for them and the incidents in their life. And to know that you went ahead and took steps to take care of that, and you feel as though you're actually seeing the difference in your remembering and in your brain activity, that's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes. Somebody asked if I use 2 X39s. I've never put 2 X39s on at the same time. I wear them 12 hours daily. Sometimes I skip a day and I don't worry about it. I mean, sometimes I wear it overnight by mistake and I just skip the next day also. So it's not like you have to have the patch on every day or you're going to fall apart. Your progress is going to be reversed. So, but pretty much I wear it daily and I only wear one. I don't think you need more than one for most people.
No, you're absolutely correct. And David says that we do not, that one is sufficient. And I think when you were mentioning where the two patches together, you were mentioning the X39 and the Carnosine. I want to just clarify that for those listening and also those who will be listening on to the recording.
Yes.
Now, is there anything else? I believe that you mentioned this morning that you had a relative that has had tremendous success. Would you like to tell us about that?
I want to tell you about my mom. For those of you that have cranky older adults in your life that are miserable because they're not sleeping well and they're in a lot of pain, my mother has resisted trying these patches for a year and a half. She's had the patches sitting in her house for at least a year. This weekend, I surreptitiously put an X39 on her back, and then I added an Eon. And within a few minutes, her whole attitude, her whole negative take on life had disappeared, and we had the most pleasant conversation we've had in at least a dozen years. She's now willing to wear the patch because she is noticing a difference. That night, her caregiver put the Silent Nights on her, which is our melatonin elevating patch. And she slept through the night soundly, not a peep from her all night. Normally, my mom is up every night in the middle of the night, ringing the bell. The caregiver lives with her and has to get up and tend to her. And she's got all these fears and worries about not sleeping. It's a vicious cycle. The caregiver was so concerned when she didn't ring the bell, she got up and checked on her to make sure she was still alive. And my mother was alive and in such deep slumber. And she's actually energized, excited, and hopeful for the first time in a long time. So I really am happy that she's finally willing to wear my patches.
Wow. And the results that she's getting, what an amazing result. In the middle of the night, all the hours seem long.
Yes.
When you are trying to help someone to be comforted. What a great testimony. That's fabulous. Anything else?
That's it. That's my story.
Well,